Welcome to episode 79 of the Family Geekery podcast. I'm Amber.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're going to be talking about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the animated movie from 1979.
You've been asking for a Narnia episode.
I didn't expect this.
And I'm not ready for a full-blown Narnia episode yet, so I thought we'd just get a little dip the old toes into the pool of Narnia stuff. With this,
After really cool Ninja Turtles, we get really interesting animation from 79.
Hey, this is what I grew up with.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not really an excuse because I think all the holiday animated, classics are before 1979.
And also, CGI existed. You brought up Star Wars in our texts, and I'm like, yeah, we had lightsabers then.
Well, this production that we'll talk about was not up to that kind of budget.
Obviously.
So before we get into our epic subject for this week, let's talk about our Geeky Weeks.
Geeky Weeks.
Geeky Weeks.
You start off.
All right, I'll start off this week. So I started playing a game that I got during the Steam sale, and it was a very cheap game. I think it was $2.99 on sale from $3.99. So,
Oh,
yeah, but it's Factory Town Idol. So have you heard of Factory Town?
No.
no.
Factory Town is the real game, and it's like a Factorio or Satisfactory type game. You know, you build buildings that link to other buildings that do things like factories. But
Okay.
Factory Town Idle is just like an idle version of it. But it's not super idle. You gotta do a lot of managing on it. But it's fun. It's really it grabs you right away, and you get addicted to it quickly. So it's a fun little time killer.
Nice.
And then also today we had a little sneak preview drop of GTA 6 trailer,
Oh.
which was supposed to be, I think, later this week, but it got leaked. So Rockstar went ahead and just released the trailer. Anyhow.
Are you sure
So
it's not an EA game?
So either of you
All
watched
the
that?
leaks? No, I didn't even know
No.
that GTA 6 was happening.
Me neither.
Well, it was inevitable. It's been in the making for like 10 years, but highly
They were still
anticipated.
making a bunch of money off of GTA 5, so slowed it down.
Well, just think about GTA 5 and how successful it was, and then think about all the advancements that they made during like Red Dead Redemption 2, and now you get to take some of that tech that they came up with for that game and add it into an epic franchise like GTA. And
I forgot
The
they
trailer
also
for
made
it-
that.
the trailer for it is awesome.
Okay,
The
I'll have to go check that
graphics
out
look
then.
good. It's based in Florida, so it looks like there may be
Oh.
some Vice City in there, plus some Everglades, and then some backwoods. Like it's really got me
Florida
interested.
Man.
It's very Florida Man stuff. There's a lot of Florida Man stuff in it.
Yay.
And the trailer has a song by Tom Petty, very famous Floridian.
Nice.
So that was a nice little touch.
Is he Margaritaville?
No.
What?
No, that's Jimmy Buffett,
Oh.
the late, great Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, never mind.
No, Tom Petty was not the sandal-wearing beach guy. He was more the blue collar. He was from
Alligator Slinger.
Gainesville. Yeah,
Okay.
you'd know his stuff immediately if you heard it.
Yeah, I know the name.
Yeah, so super excited about that.
Cool.
Hopefully it'll be released in the next couple of years. I don't know if it had a release date on the trailer or not, but it just looks good.
Nice.
How about you guys?
Well, very fittingly to the topic, I finished reading the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Perfect.
Have not started the next book yet, but I will the next time I'm in my car. um, and yeah, I don't know what else I'm doing. For some reason I thought that the Percy Jackson's show was coming out on the 7th of December. So I'm like, oh, I've got to finish reading the book in like 3 days, and then I re-googled it. It comes out on the 20th, so
Oh,
Hmm.
I've got time to read that. Um, yeah, I've just been playing a lot of games on my phone. You got
Cool.
games on your phone? And
How about you?
I got gold in League of Legends, and I gave up because I'll get the skin, and that's all I need.
I'm sure somebody understands what that means.
I do.
Okay.
Ranked. They give a skin out. They actually changed the way it works this season. But they give a skin out at the end of the year for everybody who reached gold in ranked games. But now, if you just play a certain number of games, no matter what rank you are, you get the skin. You just get a different color of it depending on what your rank is.
Oh,
But like at gold, you barely have to play any games and you get the skin.
Cool.
So
that's pretty cool.
yeah.
How about you, Danny?
Well, I've been playing a good old mobile game. It's called Bloons TD5.
Nice. Never gets old. Balloons never gets old.
No, I didn't really get into TD6 as much, probably because I was just so used to TD5, so I just keep playing TD5. And I've been speed running, trying to get all the medals for the maps. So that's
Cool.
what I'm
You call what
doing
you were
right
doing
now.
speed running? Going to level 150?
No, that I I just that one I was like, oh, let's see how far I can get. And
How
I
far
like
did you get?
I just I had to just keep it running because I would not lose. I got to like round 160 or so, but
Nice.
which isn't as far as like other people have gotten, but it was impressive for me. And my
Nice.
map just had a bunch of balloon chippers and god monkeys, sun gods. So
Only saw like one bank or something. Did you not have
I
many
had
banks?
I had 6 or 7, but then I sold a few so that I could place more monkeys because I had unlimited money at that point.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
you get to a point where you have too much money and nothing to spend it on anymore.
Yeah, no space. But it's a good game playing right now.
Cool. All right, so for this week's episode, I challenged the girls to watch The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the animated feature from 1979, based on the C.S. Lewis book from 1950.
Uh-huh.
And yes, we're talking ancient low-budget animation. Maybe some low-budget voice acting. No offense to anybody.
No offense to anybody who worked on the movie, but it was not looking so hot.
I think the witch went all out,
Yeah.
but the other actors seemed like they kind of phoned it in.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, it seemed like they got like adult men to do the boys' voices. But yeah, so this is a animated series that I grew up watching. I can remember watching it as a kid, and it was quite popular. Won 2 Emmys.
The one that we
This-
watched?
Yes, 2 Emmys. I don't know what it was for. Probably the soundtrack, because the soundtrack was actually
The
pretty
soundtrack
nice.
was good. Yeah.
I can't imagine it could be like best supporting actor or something. But it was a story that was cool because, fantasy. Everybody liked
Yeah.
fantasy back then. And it was an easy way to ingest it as a kid because I wasn't exactly going to start reading some novels.
Mhm.
It's a really short book.
So a 90-minute movie is shorter than a short book for me. But yeah, so I enjoyed it growing up, and I know it's dated, but I figured let's introduce that to the kids and see what they think of it.
I'm
So,
surprised we didn't watch it when we were kids.
well, they probably didn't have 4K ripped versions on YouTube back then.
True.
True.
But wait, we did have a... Was it like a CD version of audiobooks or something? Like, I remember we had a big, like, folder full of DVDs or CDs or something.
That was the BBC from 1988. That was the BBC series.
Was that live
I think we
action?
did have the audiobooks also on CD.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a box set of the BBC set, and then we had a folder type thing, like a photo album type size thing of the audiobooks.
Okay. I don't remember ever watching any of those or anything, but I remember having it and looking at the pictures.
Yeah, they weren't. I mean, but it was kind of hard to go back to that because you guys did grow up with the Disney version,
Yeah,
which
is
was
fantastic.
pretty fantastic. Now, did you notice, speaking of the Disney version, did you notice that some of the scenes looked like the people who did the modern Disney one watched this animated series and was like, "Oh, that's a good angle. Let's go ahead and use that same thing."
Yeah, especially how Mr. Tumnus is red with green hair in the animated show. I totally loved that in the live action Disney version.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Yeah.
special effects or makeup. I said like camera angles.
No, I did realize one difference though. When I was watching it, the Spaum with the wardrobe on it, after watching the Disney one, it's like it's a long room and the wardrobe is on the far wall opposite the door.
Right.
And that's
Very
how
inviting.
and that's how I thought about it the whole time reading the book, because that's what I remember watching. And then I see this version and the wardrobe's just like on the wall next to the door, just chilling, a completely different orientation. I was like, I never would have thought that was ever a possibility, that the wardrobe would be there and not like far away on the opposite wall.
Right.
So that's one thing I noticed.
Because it's got to be on the outside wall, or else it couldn't go on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little different. Since we're talking about differences,
Mr. Tumnus is red with green hair.
let's talk about the first interaction with Mr. Tumnus between Lucy and Mr. Tumnus. Now,
Okay.
I'm watching it last night, and I instantly get creeper vibes.
Oh yeah.
And it was a very would you like some candy, little girl? Like,
Yeah.
would you like some candy and go back to my place, little girl? Type vibe to it, and I didn't get that from the Disney version. It was more like the deceit was kind of a surprise at that point. Like you could see he was gunning for her right away.
Right.
How since you have most recently read the book, we'll refer to you. How was it portrayed in the book? Could you tell in their interaction that it was foreshadowing that he was going to backstab her, or was it like genuine, like have some tea with me?
I'll just say that the movie, the animated one that we just watched, almost every single line comes right out of the book. It is a lot more copy and paste from the book than the Disney version is, which is kind of cool. And that was like throughout the entire movie. I noticed very little differences from the book. But in the book, it does seem a little bit more like, hey kid, you're my friend now, and not, hey kid, let's have some candy at my house and I'll kidnap you. So I don't know if that was just a difference in, the reader of the audiobook versus this voice actor or whatever. Probably the facial expressions of Mr. Tumnus in the animated version are, adding to that also because he looks creepy.
Yeah. Looks a little devilish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Between the
know who
horns
came
and the
up with
red
that
skin.
color palette. I don't know who read fawn and decided bright red and green in a world where it's always winter and never Christmas. I don't know, maybe just to contrast him against the white and the blues. I don't know. But it was interesting.
Yep.
So to answer your question, the book did not seem that creepery. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. Like I knew what was going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't expect to like smell it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a little different. There was only a few differences, and I think the Wikipedia page lists out the 4 differences between the book and this animated short, which I think is pretty cool because it's only a 90-minute animated feature,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're dealing with a book, there's like no limit to what you can do.
Right.
But with an animation thing, there's a limit. So the fact that there's only 4 differences or 4 major differences, I thought that was pretty good. They did a good job.
I did a quick maths, just like memory based on like the average length of each chapter in the audiobook and how many chapters I think there are. And the book is only about 230 minutes long. So there's not a lot they have to trim down on. And a lot of it is like descriptions and thoughts and stuff like that they're not going to add in the animated. So it's not like a terribly long book to, adapt into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else?
So what were the 4 major differences? Can I list some possibly? And you
sure.
tell me.
Yeah, go for it.
No Santa. Santa did not give the presents to the kids.
Yep,
as
that's
Land
the
did
first
in the
one.
movie. Okay.
There was a mention of Father Christmas, but he didn't distribute the gifts. It was Aslan.
While running to the stone table, the witch never sees the kids.
That wasn't listed, but
that wasn't listed. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the giant. The giant is not in the movie. I don't know if your Wikipedia page talks about a giant. He's only in 1 chapter, but he's pretty important to getting them out of the witch's house.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I think the Santa Claus one was the major one. The other ones were kind of minor, like
okay.
the name of the captain of the
the guard. In the book his name is Morgren or something.
Right, yeah, that was it. But they used the other name for most American adaptations, I guess.
Okay.
Instead of Morgren.
I guess Fenrir or whatever his name is makes more sense. It's like the Norse wolf.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a really cool giant in the book, and he just ain't in the movie.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. That was Reepicheep in the book?
No.
Okay.
Not in this one.
Gotcha.
I didn't think he shows up until Dawn Treader.
Or
was he in Prince Caspian also?
He was in Prince Caspian.
Okay. I'm not there yet.
In that book.
I barely remember that movie.
But there was the rats that were eating away the ropes, so I thought maybe he was one of them. I didn't see a little sword sticking off of his belt, so.
Reepicheep, best character.
What other notes do you got on this movie we watched?
Do I have any notes? At one point, one of my notes is just ugly. No offense to the animators. The backgrounds were beautiful.
Oh yeah.
The animators had some questionable faces, though. I don't know. At one point, there's a bull with a human face. Like, he's still like a brown bull, but he's got like straight up human nose and eyeballs and a big old chin. I'm like, and I was trying to find it a second time, but I couldn't find the scene where it was at.
It felt. What I noticed is like the animation looked like it was drawn on a whiteboard, and because I in like multiple frames I could see like the under drawings of the past frames, and it looks like they just like erased them, and then which is probably what they did because that was a common thing to do, but
With like a literal whiteboard.
yeah, well, some of like the like coloring was like very looked like whiteboard-ish, but
Okay.
I know it wasn't on a whiteboard. But yeah,
I remember one of the other differences.
Oh.
Yeah, one of the other differences was there's absolutely no mention of World War II. There's no reason for them to be at the professor's house.
Right.
oh
They're
yeah,
just there, which I can understand if it's a children's feature that you don't start it with war, but
That didn't stop Disney from having the most terrifying opening scene of any Disney movie.
but even if you don't mention that it's World War II, refugees of World War II,
Yeah.
you don't put them in like 70s turtlenecks and bell bottoms. I mean, it looked a little bit like a bad Scooby-Doo cast.
I did get a lot of
Yeah,
Scooby-Doo
yeah.
vibes, which makes sense because Scooby-Doo started around that same time, right?
Yeah, but they had good animators.
Yeah. They probably had a bunch more money. One of my notes was, do they know what animals look like? Because I understand, like, it's a show, you want to exaggerate different features or whatever, but why did Aslan look kind of like the Care Bear lion? Like, I guess that's endearing. But yeah, I don't know. Do they know what animals look like?
Here's something that troubled me a little bit.
Okay.
I think by watching this, the land of Narnia is about 2 blocks large because they get from the castle to the battlefield to, Castle Paravel or whatever.
Yeah.
Cal Palaval.
Care Bear, Paravel. Care
Yeah.
Bear.
Like in seconds.
Yeah.
Like, they're running from where the battle's going to be to the stone table, and then they get from the stone table to the castle to rescue all the stonified creatures, and then they get back to the battle all before anything happens.
Yeah.
And it's only after they return, that the witch decides, oh wait, I've got this wand that can just turn everybody to stone. Let me just go ahead and start turning everybody to stone. Why didn't she start that at the beginning of the battle?
Yeah, in the book it was a little different. Like, she was using the wand like for the entire first half of the battle, and then Edmund destroyed the wand. And that was like right before Aslan got there.
Okay.
Yeah, the book made a little more sense of the timeline and the traveling situations and stuff like that.
Was there a flying creature that helped them get there, or am I thinking of something different?
Helped who get where?
To the castle, to the queen's castle.
I think it was just Aslan.
Okay.
But he's a big jumper, big runner. He's got the
He was jumping from scene to scene.
Yeah. One thing that troubled me, and I don't know if you guys caught this, but, after Peter has his first fight against the wolf, Aslan's like, give me your sword. and I will knight you.
Oh, yeah.
And Peter gives the sword off frame. And then from out of the frame, you just see the sword. You don't see Aslan at all, knighting Peter. And I'm like,
Right.
is it in his mouth? Is he holding it with his hands? Did the animators just not want to make a decision? So it's just
I was saying,
mystery arm knighting him, probably.
I was saying to myself, please show the mouth. Please have the sword in the mouth.
And then the same
It made me
thing
think of
knights
the.
Edmund.
Have you ever seen the scene from Tarzan, the animated movie? That everybody shows as a meme. It's a scene of Tarzan swinging through the jungle, and he's holding Jane in his arms, and he's got both arms holding Jane up, but he's still swinging. So they show like an X-ray.
They show him putting it in his butt cheeks.
Yeah, his butt cheeks is holding the vine. That's what I was thinking when I was watching that scene, because then they did the same thing to Edmund later.
Yeah,
same exact thing.
the same exact
Give me your sword.
And you just see the tip of the sword from out of frame.
But it can't be his mouth, though, because he went, Peter,
Yeah, he was talking.
He was talking. He said, Peter, I dubbed thee, king of Narnia. So he must have had opposable thumbs. I don't know.
He had an assistant.
He was doing this. He was pawing it with both paws.
He was standing up.
It was in his butt cheeks.
You got knighted by a butt cheek sword.
I don't think lions have butt cheeks, Danny.
Or his tail.
by the power invested in my butt cheeks. I now pronounce you king of the Narnia. They weren't saying Narnia.
They're saying Narnia.
Narnia. Yeah. Like Narnia business. Maybe we're saying it wrong.
Well, at least they were saying Aslan, because like in the books they say like Aslan. Like, why are you saying it like that? Why can't you just say Aslan? There's one S. That must be why he gets his name from holding the sword in his butt cheeks.
That's right. What about you, Danny? Anything disturb you? Or did anything really impress you?
Yeah, you're a little Miss Animator over there. Give us your notes. What would you improve? What would you learn from?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen better animations in my school.
There was some Scooby-Doo-esque, like
running
when a person's walking, bouncing while walking.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think it was the what are the horsemen people called?
Centaurs.
The centaurs, when they walked, I mean they would have more of a bounce to them, but in the animation they animated them walking by rotating their shoulders left to right as they're walking. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
But that's all that's happening.
Did you notice that when they saved Edmund from the White Queen or the White Witch, the centaur twists like 270 degrees to pick Edmund up and put him on his back?
Oh, yeah.
He like twists like all the way like an owl to put Edmund on his back and then twist back like it's no big deal. Like he didn't just break 7 ribs.
Yeah. Then at one point, was it Lucy and Susan were riding Aslan back from the castle, and they get all the way back to the cliff above the battleground, and he's like, "Get off me!" It was like very abrupt. He's like, "Get off me!"
And then he just jumps and lands on the queen.
Yeah, pounces her.
Yeah, like that was one thing that surprised me about the book, was because obviously like I listen to them mostly while I'm driving, so I only have 70% of my attention there. Like I'm not fully focusing on the book. And I get to the major fight at the end, and it's like Aslan jumped down. And then it's just like, and the queen was dead. And I'm like, and that's it? I missed it the first time, and then they're like, and now they kill all the troops now that the witch isn't around. Like the rest of the troops are easier to kill since the witch isn't there. And I'm like, oh, I guess she's dead then, just like that. Like that was easy, I guess.
Yep. All right, Danny, I got a question for you since you're the art person.
Mm-hmm.
When Aslan is breathing on the stone creatures to bring them back to life, how are they doing that special effect and making them glow to come back to life? Did you see that? It was like, it's almost like looking through a kaleidoscope.
It was like bright and sparkly.
Yeah.
I'm trying
You
to
slept
remember.
through that part, didn't you?
I did actually fall asleep.
I fell asleep at one point too, and I had to rewind it back because all of a sudden there's
rewinded it back.
beavers on the screen. I'm like, where did they come from?
I fell asleep right at the end. But so what happened? They like faded back into the screen or something.
Yeah, but
yeah, they looked like disco balls as they were turning back into creatures.
Yeah, it wasn't animated. It must have been like clear cells and then some kind of special effect or some kind of animation behind it or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've noticed in
Probably.
older animes. Like when it gets really bright in Sailor Moon or whatever, it's like, oh, it must just be like clear, and then they shine a light behind it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of, I've talked about this before, I think on the podcast, the Energon cubes from the Transformer, the 1980s Transformer cartoons. The Energon cubes always had this really cool special effect that was definitely some kind of light emitting from behind the animation cells. So yeah, so that's your homework assignment.
All right.
Recreate that effect for me.
Sounds good. I'm sure there's a button that can do it for me in Photoshop or something.
Right. Now it's just a filter.
Yeah.
Adobe After Effects or whatever.
So did you catch who made this movie?
No.
The Episcopal Church.
Really?
Yeah, or there's some version of something because I think C.S. Lewis gave them the rights early on to make a TV movie, but it has to do with the Episcopal Church. I thought he was he Christian or
yeah.
is Episcopal Christian?
Yeah.
Okay, I get these mixed up sometimes.
No, he's a god boy.
Yeah, so I don't know if he purposely gave them the rights to it so they could use it to make money, but I don't know. So that's probably why they don't have the highest production quality.
Yeah.
I was really expecting it to be done by Rankin and Bass.
Who's
who
that?
They're the ones that did the
Rudolph.
They had a lot to do with some of those specials, but the Lord of the Rings animated movies.
Like The Hobbit?
Yeah.
I remember watching that one.
Yeah, so Rankin Bass did those, and I thought I remembered them doing this, but as soon as I started watching the first couple scenes, I was like, nope. Nope, not them.
One of my notes was simply sad Aslan frowny face. He looked so sad when he was going to the stone table. And I think one thing they did well was even if they didn't know what lions look like and made them only one color, they did do a good job of giving him emotions. So.
And he told them that he was sad and lonely.
Yeah.
As the two girls are walking next to him.
Yeah. And he wanted them to hold his hair because it was the last time he was going to have the hair until he got
Aw,
reborn.
That's true. I
that's so
didn't catch
cute.
that. I saw them. Was that in the book? The hold my hair part?
Yeah. Because they were like, Lucy and Susan. He asked Lucy and Susan something they've been wanting to do since they met Aslan.
Oh,
And they,
okay.
yeah. It's a good book.
I got a little vibe like you guys haven't seen Prison Break, the show from the
No.
90s, early 2000s maybe. But there
It's
was
got the
a
lady. It's got the lady from Walking Dead in it, right?
maybe the people from
Okay,
Walking Dead have
never
been in
mind.
everything, I think. But there was a character on there that was a creeper, and
Oh
he would
man,
invert
sorry.
his pockets, pull the pockets out so that they're flopping
Mm-hmm.
out of his pants like Dumbo ears, and
Mhm.
he would make his prison friends hold on to the pockets when they walked around the prison. So as
Why?
soon
Aw.
as Aslan's like, "Hold my hair, girls," I was like, "Oh no!" First, Mr. Tomness, now
Oh my
Aslan.
Mm.
What are you taking them to the table for? Definitely a far cry from the movies that you guys grew up with,
Yeah.
but I think the story. I think the story overall is there. I think they did a good job getting the story into a cartoon.
Yeah, it's definitely more true to the book, but obviously it's not nearly as exciting as, a full-fledged budget Disney movie. Um,
Yeah.
and that movie is just so magical. Like it's incredible to go back and rewatch.
And they did a great job casting the four kids, because
Yeah.
Mhm.
you had kind of the older brother, you had the jealous brother, you
Hmm.
had the really cute innocent young girl, and then the other sister that was just annoyed by her little sister. I don't know if you relate to that at all, Amber, but
I don't think she does.
The smarter and awesomer older sister. Yeah. Susan,
Awesomer.
actually, I read this somewhere. Susan is she might be like a self-insert for C.S. Lewis. Um because C.S. Lewis was like um I don't know, something about losing his faith, and that's why Susan doesn't like Narnia anymore or whatever when she gets older or whatever. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
Susan's
sense.
like an allegory of C.S. Lewis's religious experience.
That's
Cool.
cool. Yeah, but that's probably the most drastic change between the two features is the how well the kid actors were versus
Yeah.
Mhm.
whatever was voicing these creatures.
Whatever.
Whatever. I had it right the first time.
One thing that I'm glad they removed from both adaptations of the book is when Santa gives the kids the presents, he's like, a sword and shield for you, Peter. A bow for you, Susan. I hope you don't have to use it. And a dagger for you, Lucy. I hope you don't have to use it. Because we all know that war gets ugly when women fight.
Oh
I was
no.
That's
like,
that was in the
I'm
book.
like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know.
Santa.
I don't know if Santa's a little sexist here, or if he's trying to be protective of them, or what. But I was like waiting for Aslan to pull out the sexism, but he didn't, so I was happy.
And
But
this
I don't know if that's how the book was intended to read. I don't know if that's what that meant. Obviously, we've come a long way, but it was just a little weird hearing Santa say that.
in this version, Aslan, when he was handing out the gifts, did say, that he hopes they never have to use
Yeah,
it. The females,
yeah, but he
but
didn't
in
say
the
that he didn't say the war is ugly when women fight.
in the Disney version, wasn't Susan kind of a badass on the battlefield?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that predated Katniss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's the OG Katniss.
Oh, gee. We need a epic rap battles of history with that.
They could shoot apples off each
Katniss.
other's heads. See who the better archer was.
It's probably, well, Katniss gets a bunch of techie tools.
I'm in the trees. I'm in the breeze.
We live in District 12.
What?
Yeah, District 12 is the coal mining. Well, I don't know. We actually might be flooded and underwater in Pan Am. But
Who's
Virginia. Do our listeners know we're in Virginia?
They do now. They know we're in District 12/13.
No, I think 13's farther away. But District 12 is all the coal mining stuff, obviously. You've read the books, seen the movies.
I've done both. All right, so we'll have to come back in the future and hit some more Narnia. But we wanted to start off with this one so that we can only go
up
in the right direction from here. But if you want to check it out and check it out for yourselves, just search in YouTube and you'll find several versions of it. I'm not sure who holds the copyright, but no one's taken them down, so go enjoy them. They were published on both DVD and VHS back in the day.
I mean, if it's still owned by the church, then it's probably just like free reign. Like if the church made it.
One of the channel names that I found it on was, let's see how long this stays up. That was the name of the channel name, I think.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Are they just hoping to get a copyright strike or something? Yeah, so go check it out. You can go watch it, enjoy it. There was a 4K version that was better than the other one that listed 4K. So do a quick little preview of both to see which one looks better, because one was a lot better. Check it out, see what you like.
I would say don't be alarmed by the red Mr. Tumnus, but at least the version that we watched, he was in the thumbnail. And it was very concerning right off the bat, but you'll get used to it. Don't worry.
He was showing his true colors. A little demon. Did you notice? I'm pulling a Danny now. Did you notice he stole her handkerchief? He stole Lucy's handkerchief.
He did.
No.
He just flat out stole it.
He was like, can I keep this? He was being pick me.
Oh. Well, he always...
I don't even think he asked. He was using it, and then all of a sudden he just shoves it into his coat.
In the
book,
he
asked.
Oh, did you notice she pulled it out of, like, nowhere? She's wearing a skirt and a shirt, and then she, like, pulls up her shirt and just pulls it out. Like, where was that? In your pants?
Her undies.
Did you just give Mr. Tumnus your undies?
That's why he wanted to keep it.
Ew!
Sorry, Nana.
He's gonna sell it on OnlyFans.
Oh! He gave it to Mr. Bieber. I wonder how much he paid for it. Did you notice he had his little parcels when he got turned into stone also?
Yeah.
Like...
That's so that we could tell it was him and not just some other fawn. Because he was colorless.
Packages.
He wasn't red, so we wouldn't recognize him. All right, so that gets us far enough in this episode. So go check that out. Send us an email, or tweet at us, or shout at us, or something.
Bring us your underwear handkerchief.
Let us know what you think about the movie. Tell us your thoughts. We will be looking forward to hearing those from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to wrap this one up. So go ahead, like I said, check out the other socials, check out the YouTube channel, see what's going on there. And we are ramping up close to the holiday season. So at some point, we'll probably be off for a couple weeks. We'll give you a heads up on that as we take a little vacation. Maybe we'll put some greatest hits out there for you.
Because while Narnia is always winter and never Christmas, here it's Christmas but not winter.
It was 60 degrees the other day. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But it'll get cold again. So check it out. Reach out to us. Do your thing. We're doing our thing. You do your thing. And until next time, peace out
and
geek out. Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.